Hello and welcome to Jabberjaw. I'm your host, Jessica Dawson Collier, and with me, as always, is Tyson Wheeler Dinas and Matthew David Smith. Guys, welcome.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for having us back.
Always, anytime. Just wipe your feet before you come in, you fucking heathens.
I had a weird thing happen today. I'm just going to jump right into it. There was
Go for it.
it's springtime in Kansas, which formerly was the tornado alley, but now it's moved over closer to Matt's house. Thank you.
Congrats, Smith.
Thank you.
Yeah. So anyway,
sucks.
I woke up at I'm gonna say 7:30 this morning, listening to thunder, just thunder rolling, much like that song by that guy who.
That's sad that's actually what my head did. Like that's what my brain does when you say that. It just goes that damn Garth Brooks song. Which I still weirdly remember the video for. But anyway, go ahead.
I don't think I ever saw the video, but
it's impressive.
I do kind of like the song. But anyway, that's Walmart's fault. Anyway, all morning there was like sun, and there's just constant amount of thunder. And then I finally looked at the radar because we were supposed to get some kind of like rain this morning, but it just wasn't happening. And just north of us, like literally like maybe 5 miles, was this giant supercell that was just going crazy, but nothing was happening here. So for 2 hours, constant thunder, but no rain and sun. It was the weirdest
crazy
thing. I mean, weather's weird anyway, but and then finally at around like 11:30, another cell popped up, and then we got all these lightning strikes around here, and actual rain, but it was just surreal, because I was like, it was just a strange way to start a day because I was like on my scrum and I'm like listening and I'm like, well, thunder's going all over the place, and I was like, good story, Tyson. Anyway, how are you guys doing?
We're good.
Clear skies over here in Lafayette, Colorado.
Yeah. Yep. A-OK in scrum this morning. Nothing to report. All had our scrums. Just like a thing that everybody does now. It's just
it is. Isn't it great?
It's a talk. It's a brief chat with your coworkers is what you used to call it, but
that's right. Yeah.
Not anymore.
No, you gotta stand up and you gotta assign, work points and Fibonacci bullshit and all this kind of stuff.
Oh my God.
I love when you throw in the Fibonacci sequence just to add a little validity to the whole thing. It's a good move. Anytime you need to add just a little bit of something, just look up, this is what I would do because I'm awful at math. So I'm just going to find a theorem or whatever that everyone knows they should know. You're like, I use that. And they're like, oh, that makes sense. So, it was really pretty smart, actually. The weather's fine here. It's actually been super nice for the last few days, ridiculously so. Yesterday was we had a 2-year-old's birthday party. Our friend Marie, we went to her. Happy birthday, Marie. We went to her birthday party, and it was 73 degrees out. Sun was out. It was perfect outside. And there is always that day, you could just collectively sense. At least I get it here, where everyone just like that thing that you give up on life because of winter, and you can just feel it around you. It's like that one day where everyone wakes up and they're just they're happy, and they're walking around and they're happy to be alive again. It's like waking up from hibernation, and you can see it everywhere. I think that day happened like this, so that's the official day for spring for me.
Smith, I can definitely relate to that. Yeah. Yesterday was like that for me too. And I think I showed you guys. We went and got coffee. It was lovely out. Nice cool breeze. Get out of the car by the grocery store. And we're like, you know what? We should go on a bike ride. Life's looking good. And then fucking walk past the liquor store. And there's that sign that says, proud to be an American. And it's got Coors Light.
That was awesome, and I do have that as a headline for later, or we can talk about it whenever, because it is a glorious tale.
Oh my God!
But,
I literally
that was awesome.
It was great promotional material.
How fast do you think they manufacture those? Since that Budweiser thing happened.
Pretty fast.
Pretty
Although that thing didn't look that new. It looked like they had it in the back for whenever something came out about
They've
some beer
repurposed it
brand.
since the last outrage. Whatever.
Yeah.
Bartles and James really fucked it up in the late '80s, and something progressive, and they had that back in. What a stupid story. So we'll get to it. Like I said, I love it.
We will.
We'll get to it. Yeah. How was you? This was was this your first full winter in Colorado, Dawson?
So
since you
this
moved out
was
there?
our second officially, but I will
Okay.
say this past winter was way worse than our first one.
I
in
thought that's
2021.
what I was driving at. Is I wondered it seemed like it was just kind of crazy this year. So
yeah. It was not great because I definitely get seasonal depression, and that's part of the reason I left New York, as you guys know, and then moved to Austin, and it was great because pretty much winter doesn't come to Austin. There's 3 days of 40-degree weather, and then you're back into the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
So I really had to think about moving to Colorado for a minute. And I definitely had some regrets over this past winter, but I don't know. The mountains are pretty cool. And it's nice when, like you said, spring gets here. You can go do stuff outside finally.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm into it. And I love the little prairie dogs right by us. Literally when spring comes, I'm like a totally different person. I am so much happier. I just want to do everything outside. I'm ready for it.
I think I get a little bit of the SADS. Don't we all get a little bit? Which is the greatest name ever, the SADS.
The SADS.
The SADS. Yeah.
With
seasonal affective. That's what it is. Yeah, seasonal affective
also a
disorder.
good emo band name. The SADS.
It would be the SADS.
Best adoptive family. They had depression that ran through their family. They called it the drops.
Ooh,
drops.
Which I always thought was pretty good because it was she's suffering from the drops right now. Which means that she was having a terrible anxiety / depression spell. But they didn't have those words back then, so
they didn't know. They had they had three. The DSM V4 was 4 words back in it was it really was. It was it was nervous, or there were a handful of nervous, hysterical. I mean, it was it was very
female
simple.
hysteria. Don't forget that.
Female hysteria was that was a diagnosis. She's just got the hysteria.
Time to use one of these rudimentary vibrators on her and get that hysteria right out of her body.
I know. And then wait 70 years for the Def Leppard record to come out. And yes, excellent. They had such a good naming convention, Def Leppard. The pyromania, the hysteria. Somebody decided that. I don't know. Which, by the way, I completely forgot this last week, but somebody beat up the drummer.
Oh, I heard that. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, somebody beat up
some kids, some teenagers.
Yeah, some kids.
He said that he's fucking 80, so it could have been somebody who was in their 40s. He wouldn't know if it was.
That's true. A kid.
Yeah.
It may have been us.
That's
true. It might have been. It might have been.
Keep
but who beats up the drummer from Def Leppard? That's.
Well, okay. First off, he's got one arm. I suspect he was outside the casino because that's when it happened. They were playing a show at a casino.
Oh, okay. I already kind of know.
He was outside. He was smoking a cigarette in between sets, I assume, and then got beat up by some kids, some teenagers. He said. I mean, to be fair, not everybody knows that there's a 1 in 5 chance that a one-armed man you run into could be in Def Leppard, but not everybody knows that. Right?
Is that how the math works?
That's to the best of my knowledge. I'm not a math guy. But
it's all right. That's the only model I've got to work from, so I'll take it. Yeah.
That and the one-armed man from The Prisoner back in the day, but no one but my parents
true.
And Dryling might get that. Anyway, so I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, that sucks though. But he got beat up, and that's not cool.
No, it really isn't. No, it isn't. But yeah, he has to be really old. You're right now. He wouldn't. Yeah, probably be in his at least 70s by now, and you're maybe 80s. So I don't know.
No, probably not 80s. They're
I
not
don't
the
know.
Rolling Stones. He's probably in his late 50s, early 60s.
Really? You think that's it? I don't know. I have a weird
I'm practically in my late 50s, early 60s.
That's true.
So,
you have been for years, though. So.
That's true. That's very true.
You're mentally ready for it, as are the rest of us.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring back Consarn It. That's gonna be my move.
Consarn.
Oh God.
I don't even know what that means, and I know what it means. I don't know why, but I just get it.
It's like malarkey, but less presidential.
Jeez.
Again, I think of Tyson's therapist. Good lady. Good lady out there.
I think, I don't know, we probably should have talked about this like in the planning stage of the show, but we just couldn't find time in that 45 seconds before we just said, yeah, let's do it. And
too much time to plan.
We kind of have, Dawson, do we have a follow-up from a story that we talked about last week?
Oh, we do.
Do we?
About
a certain verification of something related to the Dave Thomas empire that you got to follow up on.
Let's go right over her head. They used to have a really good spicy chicken sandwich, and now it's fucking
the Wendy's
shit.
Yeah,
the Wendy's. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like a $25,000 pyramid. They said a really good person at Wendy's. Yes.
What? Was I supposed to do a follow-up?
Oh, no, you did a follow-up.
You sent us a text from one of our listeners verifying our thing.
Oh, the Wendy's manager thing. Yeah.
The precog.
Yeah. Now we. Yes. Do you guys want to explain what we're talking about now that I'm in the loop?
Well, Matt, go ahead. I'll set the stage. So last week we were talking about drive-through food in general and how it's kind of gone downhill, and we were all reminiscing fondly, of course, around an open fire about how much we loved the Wendy's,
as we do, yeah,
the Wendy's in Hayes, and it seemed like you never waited more than 20 seconds to get exactly what you ordered, and it was always amazingly fresh and super hot and amazing. So we were wondering what kind of voodoo or how that worked, and one of our listeners had some insight.
We got a tip. We got a listener tip.
That's right.
We're going to delve into, but we got a tip.
We got a couple of tips. I got to give props to two guys because the person who started this was Tony Dreiling. He won't mind us using, his real name. Hi, Tony, again. He told us about, what was it? His job was to watch the cars pulling into both the drive-through and the dine-in side and predict what people would be ordering.
It wasn't it wasn't his job. He worked with the guy.
It wasn't his. Yeah, it was. Worked with that guy. So we're like, who the hell is that guy? And then Matt Deathridge was like, hey, I know that guy, and gave us his name. So now we are on the hunt to get. We're not going to
that guy. Yeah, well, let's not give his name, but
one of the things.
We haven't quite given it up yet. I'm glad you mentioned the follow up because I don't know that we want to give it up. Like, explain what this job is. Have we already given that up? I don't know.
No, I mean, I think the thing was that he taught some people to watch the drive-through and based on the cars coming through, could predict what they were going to order, which I've been thinking about a lot. That probably works really well in Hayes, Kansas. Maybe not so much in like New York City, but anyway, like
probably not. Yeah.
But what was interesting was that he said, like anecdotally, he said they were close to like 90%.
Incredible accuracy rate, yeah. Which is this is fascinating to me. By the way,
too.
Like that this actually, because this is like what was like in the 60s and 70s, where the FBI it wasn't the FBI, the CIA did that whole like mind like control experiments, and there was a name. There used to be a poster in your bathroom, Tyson, that had the name of it of the project.
It's Ultra MK.
Ultra MK, that's what this is basically Ultra MK though for fast food.
Yeah.
That we were actually like trying to like predict, which like I totally got. Like kind of what I was thinking about is like, okay, if I would have seen my silly ass in high school driving, I would have been like, oh yeah, dollar menu something. and
Yeah.
probably a lot of it.
Sure. Yeah.
Would have been my prediction if I would have seen me drive through Wendy's parking lot in high school. But yeah.
I do want to just clarify just one thing. MK Ultra was a band we played with one time. It's not that I have paraphernalia of CIA psych ops.
I'm sorry if I gave that impression,
No,
Tyson.
but
At least not in the
Should
bathroom.
be.
Not in the bathroom.
Should
The
be.
bathroom is a sacred place.
it's in the hallway.
It's my remote viewing area. It's your bathroom. That's my remote viewing area.
I need 15 minutes to look at all these flyers. But so like anyway, that's and the follow up of the story was that we talked about last time was that this guy, like Wendy's, the upper echelon of Wendy's people came to interview this guy to see how he did so well with his business.
Right.
And to be fair, I mean, it was the only game in town after midnight, especially for me when I was working. I got off at midnight. I got off work at midnight. Anyway, the where's the thing? You're supposed to hit the thing. Thank you.
I was too busy being disgusted. Go on.
No.
We're setting the bar high today, kids. Sorry, I'm in a good mood, everybody.
Yes, he is. Yay. We like it.
But anyway, so there's a lot of talk about really making Jabberjaw Investigates a thing. So we'll see. We might.
Yeah, I'm excited to look into
continued.
this deeper because this I want to know how deep this goes. If it like went nationwide and like what ultimately stopped it because they don't have that program in place now.
No, they do
they
not.
Can they can't
No.
they can barely get my order right when I like scream it at them. So they which maybe that's on me, but.
Well, I mean, Beth was coming home from like a 5K or something that she was doing on Saturday, and she's like, "You want me to get some food?" I'm like, "That's fine." She's like, "What do you want?" And then we have this fight every time. It's like, "You pick." No, you pick. You pick. It's not a fight. It's more of just a very tired.
It's a circular discussion.
It is. Yeah.
And so it's like she's like, "Well, there's a Wendy's," and I'm like, "Well, we both know they suck." And I was like, she's like, "Yeah," and I'm like. And I was like, get me a double cheeseburger. That's usually the safest bet. And then for some reason I said, wait, let's get the spicy chicken sandwich. I'm going to go for it again.
All right.
Wow. Oh no. What level of disappointment did you hit?
6.
Wow. Fuck.
I mean, the last time I had one, it was 10. So like out of 10. So I think it was better, but it's just because I haven't even tried one in 2 years, So.
Yeah.
I kind of have this general paranoia now that I know that like the quality of the service has just gone way, way down. And I kind of don't like ordering chicken anymore just because I'm like, especially like chicken breast sandwiches, because I'm just afraid. I've had that experience in my life where I've bitten down and been like, "Dear Christ, what have you done to me?" And they haven't cooked the thing, and I'm just really worried with the quality.
Yeah.
So not to instill that paranoia into everyone, although I fear that's what I may have accomplished. But that's what worries me is just like I really now like check to make sure it's thoroughly cooked because I'm just like, it's just too easy to like save a couple minutes and
Well, if it makes you
out of here.
If it makes you feeling better, get yourself a spicy Wendy chicken sandwich because it was so thin, it was thinner than a hamburger.
No,
it's really hard to
pisses me off.
It's hard to undercook something that thin.
Yeah.
Right, I have a suggestion for a better chicken sandwich, which I experienced this past weekend.
I'm excited.
Do you guys have a smash burger near you?
No, there was one in Lawrence, but they didn't make it.
Son of a bitch! All right,
we may.
I feel like Indianapolis should have one, Smith.
I think I'm gonna
get the producers on that. But Tyson and petition somebody in Kansas City.
Well, last time we were driving through Denver, we stopped at Smash Burger and we had it. But I didn't have the chicken sandwich. Was it good?
It's the best chicken sandwich, and
really?
I will stand by that.
Better than Culver's?
It is. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, and Culver's is very good. I like the breading a lot, but this breading's way better. It's nice and thick, juicy, cooked perfectly. They also give you the option for a gluten-free bun instead of the regular whatever bullshit bun, which I appreciate.
Interesting.
Yes. Big fan. And it's a nice size. It's like a good sized chicken sandwich.
Well, it turns out we do have a smash burger. It's got a weirdly low rating though, so I don't know. It could be an operational thing, but yeah, we do have a smash burger. But
I mean, enter at your own risk. But I'm telling you, the one in freaking Colorado, like when you guys come to visit for that show.
Oh yeah,
I honestly want us to get smash burger because that chicken sandwich is so fucking good.
No, does Five Guys have a chicken sandwich? Like,
no,
they do not. Okay, that seems like a missed opportunity.
They don't even have like a grilled chicken sandwich.
No, they have hot dogs and burgers. That's what they have.
Okay,
no,
and their hot dogs aren't bad because I get tired of the burgers sometimes.
Yeah,
they're not bad. I would say though, Matt, that because of the way this fast food restaurants work, they all source the same sandwiches: beef, chicken breast, whatever. So I mean, like, the chicken breast that you're going to get in Colorado is probably going to be the same one you get in Indianapolis. So,
sure.
So hopefully they just cook it well. I guess would be
that's what I hope.
I guess,
but it would be the same. It would be the same quality that you would get.
Yeah, I just get the sense every time that like whomever I'm speaking to or they're working, they've been in that position for approximately 17 minutes. Like that is their job experience. So I don't have a whole lot of faith in the whole prep, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe things will turn around, and I don't know.
It won't.
Let's hope.
Maybe Wendy's will become great again.
Also, one thing I wanted to add with our whole fast food discussion from last week, we do have some listeners that are worried about our fast food consumption rates. So just putting that out there, guys.
Don't worry. I eat enough fucking healthy food to fucking kill a horse. Trust me.
You do, Tyson. You eat enough healthy food for me and you, and I'm counting on that counting somehow. So
that is true.
I went to
In fact, I'm going to post one of Beth's dishes on our social media this week, so people realize what's happening.
I went to the doctor, and she was my endocrinologist and for diabetes, and she's like, "Well, tell me what you eat, blah blah blah." And I was like, breakfast. Bleh. I was like, lunch is usually the worst. I was like, dinner's always very healthy. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, my wife's a foodie. And she's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, anyway. What? So I was like, okay, what? All right, it's fine. I said, well, let me tell you what we had last night. We had pan-seared chicken thighs with roasted cauliflower, steamed broccoli, and quinoa.
Delicious. Fucking love it.
And she's like, that sounds delicious and healthy. And I was like, it was healthy and actually quite delicious in my opinion. But, but it's like, yeah, I mean, I eat healthy. So don't worry, everybody. It's okay. Everybody.
I do too during the week. But on the weekends, I get into, you know what? Fuck it. Let's get some smash burger. Let's try it out. Taco Bell, 10 o'clock at night on Saturday. Whatever.
I mean, we eat wings every weekend, so it's not like we're like, but we eat bad. Obviously, I eat bad. Look at me, Jesus Christ! It's my whole identity.
I like how you're defending it now. What? We eat bad? Come on, I some shit in my mouth every once in a while. Okay, that's good. I'm healthy.
All right.
Smith will remember this, but Tice always used to say, I treat my body like a trash can and never take out the trash. That was back in the day.
I think I also remember a variant of that. And I remember a variant of that, which was, my body's a temple and I'm not a religious man. I think I also remember. That too.
I really should write this shit down. I forget that I
really should. You wasted it on us. And then we just repeat it back.
As long as you get it, as long as
10 years later,
it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry. I'm a scatterbrain tonight. Sorry, kids.
That's okay. No, you told us you were in a good mood, so that's okay. So you're allowed to be a little scattered.
You are.
We can do some headlines to jump back into the. We want to.
Do we want to get into that?
Our job. That's our responsibility. That's the responsible, like the part of the show where it's like our only responsibility is to do headlines.
I gotta clear my throat. Hopefully, I don't cut out this week. Here we go. Headline of the week. Meow, 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 meow.
I have not reviewed my headlines, so bear with me. I usually try to
Excellent.
at least look at them before we start this, but I did not. So
And that's all right. I need to pull mine up as well.
Yeah, same.
I'm your
Like, what
buffer
did I
type.
even put in there?
I'm your buffer type.
I'm
This
your
is from
buffer.
Vanity Fair. I just really liked this headline. Melania Trump apparently RSVP'd fuck off to her husband during post-arraignment speech.
Be best, Melania. Fucking great.
Oh, be best.
Yeah, she fucking hates him.
It's so
Lots of
good.
Melania news this week, though. It was pretty interesting. So this is a headline that's about a bigger story, which was that Clarence Thomas uh, did not report going on many trips and private jet flights and things like that, which are very illegal, especially for elected officials. Matt and I can speak to this. We have worked for a private company that worked with the government, and even if we went out and took them for dinner, if it was over $30,
Yeah.
we weren't allowed to pay for it.
Which is pretty standard.
Oh,
I mean, that's
wow.
pretty standard for city employees, state employees. It's a very, like,
Yeah, I mean,
when we used to treat this shit seriously, it was a very big deal.
it was.
But
Yeah.
to your point, he's on the goddamn Supreme Court of the United States. Anyway, Tyson, this one,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, and it goes all the way up to every elected official and state representatives, House representatives, senators. I mean, it's just across the board. You can't, and like, of course, our company at the time was trying to schmooze these people, and in Ireland you can buy them a car. I assume, I have no idea. Anyway, but in the United States you cannot do that.
Actually,
So
you can actually buy them an Irish car, though. I think is
that
actually that.
yeah,
Oh, is that
It's a
okay?
slight loophole. It was a translation issue, but
Mm,
it's
mm.
just a it's just
FYI.
a it's a beat up
FYI.
it's just a beat up Renault. But did I say that right, Matt? You would know.
Oh, you did. Yeah, I was
Thank
surprised. Yeah, no, yeah.
All right. So anyway, he he's an asshole. Anyway, is I thought Scalia was bad, but now I'm starting to miss Scalia. Anyway, the whole thing was this. So this billionaire who's been paying for all this stuff and taking him on private plane rides and jet, basically for the last 20 years, he's been going to these mega vacations, right?
Right.
And so, of course, when that came out, which was broken by ProPublica, which is like it's it's a news organization, but it's completely funded by listeners, a lot like NPR is, basically.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that Elon Musk bullshit in a second. But
Yeah. Fuck.
I was like really good organization. They are on top of shit. Like I've talked to them a couple times in my capacity at my job. Like
really,
they see
Wow.
something and they reach out and so yeah, I wish I knew more about them, but yeah, they're on top of stuff. So it's it's good that organizations
well,
exist like that.
yeah, it is. And it was funny because they interviewed the three guys that did the story, and their editor was like, go deeper," because he found out about the flights, and then they're like, "There's probably more to the story than they
Yeah.
20 years of shit." Anyway, and the guy was like, one of the guys that was interviewed, he's like, "Listen, the best thing you could do for anyone is to keep funding places like this, and we should." So anyway, this is the headline. Clarence Thomas's billionaire buddy has a vast collection of Hitler paintings and Nazi memorabilia. This guy, his name is Harlan Harlow. Hold on, sorry, Harlan Crow, which
Harlan Crow, yes.
which was which was
He's a
made.
really good, like, Southern billionaire. I don't even know if he's Southern, but Harlan
No,
Crow
he's from
is, yeah.
Texas. Yeah, Harlan
Yeah,
Crow.
very good. Yeah.
They made a joke about it on Weekend Update, saying the blackest name for a whitest man they've ever heard. But anyway, like he's a Texas real estate mogul, and he's a super donor. Um, and his whole thing is he has a lot of not some memorabilia. He has a copy of Mein Kampf signed by the author. He's got a pair of failed artist turned dictator cityscape paintings. So a couple original Adolf Hitler paintings, Nazi medallions, swastika embossed linens, and more. Um, and then this is the part that got me. He's like, somehow less alarming but still strange is the quote Garden of Evil in his backyard, where statues of infamous despots like Romanian dictator Nicolae Korsakov, Yugoslavian dictator Josip Broz Trio, I hope I said that right, uh, and Russia's Joseph Stalin and Vladimir Lenin reside. So he was quick to point out that he did not commission these. They were actually stolen and smuggled out of countries where they were put up actually as, like heroes, or supposed heroes. So I don't know if that makes it better or not. So he stole these things. But his thing was, this is his thing, is that the statues were then smuggled out of their respective countries, with Crow purchasing them to construct a garden oasis dedicated to, quote, man's inhumanity to man. This is according to the Dallas Morning News wrote. Um, who does that? First off, like it's really weird. Like, so anyway, he just has a lot of Nazi memorabilia. Let's see what's next. There's a really interesting article, and I'm not gonna get into it. But there's a guy. It's actually the cover story for Bloomberg Business Week, called about a gambler who beat roulette. He figured out how to beat roulette and
What?
and did it consistently. Um,
Really?
yeah. So if you look up Bloomberg Business Week, the name of the article is "The Gambler Who Beat Roulette." I'm not going to get into it because it's impossible to describe,
Interesting.
but it's
Okay.
fascinating.
Interesting.
They were like they would do work in a pair of three, a pair, a trio of three people, and they would basically wait till the ball got to a certain point where the wheel slowed down, and they would immediately, like, based on something. I haven't got to the end of the article yet, but something that they saw where they would be like, okay, because of this, there's a 90% chance, and they would win like 10 times in a row, 13 times in a row.
Wow.
Like, yeah. So they cracked the roulette. This guy, yeah. So this guy's a Serbian, I believe. Oh no, he's a Croatian mathematician. He figured it out. Anyway,
Wow.
yeah, that's fascinating. Next headline is American IQ scores have rapidly dropped, proving the reverse Flynn effect. So are we really getting less intelligent? Here's the truth. Northwest University study shows a decline in three key intelligence testing categories, a tangible example of what is called the reverse Flynn effect. Leading up to the 1990s, IQ scores were consistently going up, but in recent years that trend seems to have flipped. The reason for both the increase and the decline are still very much up for debate. Scores in verbal reasoning, matrix reasoning, and letter and number series all declined, but interestingly, scores in spatial reasoning went up, and I assume that's because of video games.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, they don't know why, but I thought that was interesting.
But we are getting dumber. I mean, I think we knew that. So it's good to see some science behind
But
it.
we were getting smarter, which is counterintuitive to me as well. Up through the 90s, but
we peaked. We peaked in the 90s. I think we knew that too.
Saved by the Bell was a peak of
It
American.
was. It was.
Fucking true.
Then we just started getting dumber. Oh well.
This is from Ars Technica. Musk admits NPR isn't state affiliated after asking questions he could have Googled. I'm just going to leave that alone right there because that's perfect. So this is kind of a weird one, and I just saw this today. So this is from People, and this is a follow up to Melania. So this is from People. Trump's political appearances are, quote, uncomfortable for Melania. Quote, she simply wants to be left alone.
Of course she does.
Which is true. I saw a secondary headline that said that she made an appearance with Donald at the Easter brunch or something like that at wherever they live, Mar-a-Lago, and they basically put up a red, like, one of those velvet ropes and around their table so no one would bother them while they ate their food. But apparently he begged her to do that because she hasn't been seen with him in a long time. Anyway, I just bring up this thing because there's an amazing quote in here, and I just want to dig into it a little bit. So a lot was said about this because he didn't thank his wife during his speech that night after he got back from being arraigned. So this is the quote. See if you can find the thing that makes me laugh. I have a son here who's done a great job, and I have another son here who's done a great job. And Tiffany and Ivanka, Trump said in his speech. And Barron will be great someday. He's tall and smart. But I have it. But I have a great family, and They've done a fantastic job, and we appreciate it very much. End quote. So Barron is tall first, then smart. Uh, you can just see where his priorities are. If he's going to be a short man, he
Yep.
can't be on TV. You know
That's
that, right?
true. That's true.
Nope.
Anyway, those are my headlines.
Uh,
God bless Barron. I hope he turns out okay.
God bless. No, Barron is going to be one like because that kid was like he was like sort of in some formidable like years, wasn't he? Like during all this, like yeah, he's
I
I
feel
don't
bad.
know.
I don't think he's gonna go. I think he's much too much of a mama's boy. I mean, she has her family there, and they live in a separate residence with her family and him,
Oh, that's
and
right. Yeah,
so like they're
the chain
completely.
migration, I think they call it.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. So anyway, those are my headlines of the week.
So I actually had a great segue. Tyson ended on a story which I actually am able to continue on. This is from the Daily Mirror. And it was Donald Trump forced to admit he's 1 inch shorter than he claims in court paperwork. So, so while he's on trial for falsifying business records, he actually lied and said he's 6'2", and so they had to modify the paperwork to go back. But it is so funny. I mean, I just the height. It is so funny that just a little bit like you. I thought that was interesting about what you said about he's tall and smart. Like it's just like where this dude's head is like you have
Yep.
to be small and like he doesn't realize that like Tom Cruise is famous and like that dude like did it with like a less than a foot of what he's so anyway so not really a whole lot of substance to that but let's see go a couple random ones
Well, I mean, thank God he's not saying Barron has huge hands.
that's,
Like, thank God.
Biggest hands ever. Yeah.
just a quick one that I thought was kind of interesting. Why Major League Baseball players could be hitting hundreds of more home runs each season by the end of the century. So it was just kind of a little write up on CNN that basically talked about climate change and how wind patterns and like air density are changing. And so they actually have like a list of like how many more. They've actually got a chart here of like the projected like increased number of home runs per season that they've extrapolated based on the last few seasons. It's actually kind of interesting. Like basically every couple of years you get 2 or 3 more home runs for that team because the air is functionally different. That's terrifying. Uh, that's all I've got to say. I mean, that is kind of terrifying. That we're but good for baseball. They need really probably all the help they can get. So I'm
I
not.
feel like that sort of story would make Nate Silver cream his jeans, but
I think you're probably right. For what which actually I believe is the name of his next book. Nate Silver creams his jeans. Uh, I think we know exactly what the book cover is going to look like. So yeah, it's that font. It's like a dog. Yeah, creams his jeans. Speaking of which, God, I hate to take these awkward segues, but I'm going to.
Do
This
it.
one came in right before the show, and I don't have any comment whatsoever. I can't think of anything to say, so I'm going to see if either of you do.
Oh
I'm
Jesus.
rarely speechless, but the Dalai Lama,
oh,
87. Did you see this text?
I did.
I just based on your facial response.
Oh shit.
Let's see if I get the Dalai Lama 87 apologizes after kissing young boy on the lips and then asking to suck his tongue in bizarre interaction captured at a charity event in India. I don't know.
Well, okay. One thing that I think, and I may have read this wrong, but I think he asked the kid to suck his tongue.
He did, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
That's
No.
asking the child to suck his tongue, which I like.
he said his people said he's a bit of a jokester, and sometimes his comedy doesn't always, you know, it doesn't always translate to the rest of the world.
Oh, fucking God, that's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
That's oh wow.
Like
Wow.
I don't want to speak ill of the Dalai Lama, but
No, and no one should.
no one should. I probably, but I'm just gonna leave that there. We'll,
Yeah, just
we'll
leave
do
it alone.
we'll
All
do it
right.
exactly. That's my attitude towards that story. Is I'm just gonna pretend that I didn't read
Uh,
it,
uh,
but then I chose to somewhat widely disseminate it. So anyway, um,
I have something very terrible to say, and I'm not going to say it for the first time.
you're not?
I'm not
you're
going to say
not.
it. I'm not
Ty,
going to
say
say it.
it. Come
Oh, you
on.
should
No,
say it.
it's so bad. It is so
You
bad.
always say it. That's not
Oh,
fair.
that's what
Okay.
the people like, Tyson. Is you
No,
go
You
there.
do.
they don't like it. Okay. Well, here's no, no,
Say it.
no.
Say it.
So I can see the angel and the devil on your
Oh
shoulders
yeah,
right now, and the
they're
devil
doing
is
dances
winning.
right
So
now.
tell us.
Okay, let
Yeah.
me just. I'll
Yeah.
just say it. I'll just say it fast. So this all started because the kid came up to the Dalai Lama and asked him if he could give him a hug, and then the Dalai Lama was sure. He's like, "But give me a kiss here," and he pointed his cheek, and the kid kissed him, and then he's like, "Now kiss me here." And on his lips, and then and he kissed the Dalai Lama on the lips, and he asked him to suck his tongue. But really, if you think about it, the kid was asking for it. So there. See, do you feel better now? I don't feel better. I don't feel
I,
better at all.
I, I do. I
Did
do
you?
feel better.
I do.
Matt
That's
could
I do
see
feel
where
enough.
that
better.
was going about a mile away. I could
I
see it.
loved it though, and I'm glad you stuck with it because it needed to be said. Everyone's got a little
Oh
culpability in this scenario, especially the child.
Going to hell.
God.
Uh,
If there's a hell,
oh,
I'm definitely going.
See you there.
it's
See
all
you
right.
there.
It's all right. Yeah, exactly. I want to be where my friends are.
Yep.
So my next one, it's not really too much serious this week, which I guess is good. Like I guess it's good, but something. I mean, a couple things. I didn't even mention the shooting today. I don't even want to talk about it because just they happen every week now, and we'll
Yep.
pick a week to talk about. We'll do like a summary. We'll do that in July. We'll just do a summary of all the mass shootings that have happened since January. I think it's just easier that way.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So last week, the headline I've got for this is one of the ousted Tennessee lawmakers are heading back to the House. If you missed this last
Which
week,
is
this
good.
is
Actually,
one of
I think
those.
that's good, right?
It's
I
awesome.
think that's
Yes,
good.
that's good news. So if you missed the story at what was it, Thursday or Friday of last week, the
Yeah.
Tennessee legislature expelled and only a sniper specific racist way that the Tennessee legislature could. There were three Democratic legislators that stood with the protesters to bring, the attention of gun violence to the floor because Republican lawmakers are okay with the death of children. And they've decided that it's acceptable loss. And they have. And that's where
Yeah.
the point will
They
go.
have.
And you can have the discussion with them. And they will basically, at any point in time, they will basically say, well, car crashes kill 30,000. That is where they go. That is, so it is acceptable loss to them. They've found this acceptable loss. So they protested this. The Tennessee legislature then proceeds to attempt to expel all three of them, except they don't expel the white lady by a matter of one vote. So there were these two African American legislatures who were expelled from the House of Representatives. Now,
Duly
usually
elected.
with
Duly elected.
duly
Duly
elected,
elected.
exactly right. And this is one thing too, is like, there are mechanisms for this. It's called censure. The act of expelling someone, especially when these dipshits have this DeSantis guy in Congress, like, and I love the Republican Party because they are like, they float on their own hypocrisy everywhere and it travels fast. Like the fact that they like were able to like expel these people within like a matter of days is insane. And the world saw it, and yeah, it looked racist as shit. And it was
Yes, it
racist as
did.
shit. And so good for
Yeah.
Tennessee. But this is good news. Basically, the city council, basically, I think, was the body that got to elect the interim replacement for what was his name? Justin Pearson, or no, sorry,
The
Jones.
other Justin.
And
Yeah.
they unanimously said, "Hey, he's our interim selection, so he's heading right back." So, a good middle finger to the Tennessee State House. They're going to get a ton of shit for this, and they deserve every piece of it. And it was for they did this for. I mean, it's just really sad that it's kind of, this is how they respond to a mass shooting, is they kick out a couple black legislatures. So there you
Yeah.
go in Tennessee.
They said
Anything
that
else, Tyson?
well, I mean, they said that they hadn't expelled anyone from the Tennessee legislature since 1888, which means that there was some dudes hanging out. And I'm just guessing here, but the reason people got expelled around that timeline is because they were still pro-slavery,
Yeah,
and that's why they got expelled, right? So it's like a reverse. It's the
it's amazing.
weirdest thing.
It's
Yeah,
amazing. It is amazing that they, and like I said, I hope this really did just make them look like a bunch of idiots for them, because they deserve it, and they are, and it's gross to think this can happen.
yeah,
like what fucking year
it's
is it,
happened.
right?
But now it's happened once. It's going to happen all over the fucking
All
Yeah,
goddamn.
yeah.
over.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. And
Kind of like your
so
haircut. You're fucking out of here. Like it's just nonsense.
yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway, so
Wait.
so for some lighter news,
Sorry.
All right, I tried. Kid Rock shoots up Bud Light cans with rifle to protest Dylan Mulvaney. I'm
Hey.
sorry. I should have just wanted the, look at that sad me. Kid Rock shoots up Bud Light cans with rifle to protest Dylan Mulvaney partnership.
Jesus.
Fuck Bud Light. Now this comes from the only source you really want to go to with a matter like this, Fox News. I trust them with this kind of information, so I'm going to.
They're on
And
the
they're the
forefront.
only legitimate news site with a comment section, which I also. So my understanding of this story is that Bud Light, there's a transgender female YouTuber, TikToker, young person, let's call her a young person, who basically Bud Light partnershiped with and made her like a one-off can with her like likeness on it. And I think like the tinfoil crowd thought that like all Bud Light from here on out was just going to have transgender people on it, and they collectively freaked out, and so they started shooting and otherwise disposing of their Bud Light. Amongst these rational actors was Kid Rock. Kid Rock posted a short video on Twitter. You can find him at kidrock.com, where you've been able to find him for a while. He's got a MAGA hat on, backwards MAGA hat. He has a
Sweet.
light submachine gun, which he proceeds to shoot a couple cases of Bud Light. Thoughts?
What was it? Well, what was that? You sent a video of somebody.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
Uh,
say that guy.
that was what I found on Reddit, which if that wasn't shot in Ellis County, it was shot in like
that's what
something inspired by
Something
Ellis
close
County.
by. Yeah.
I
This dude
assumed
is,
it was in Hayes,
oh
based on.
no, I no, because it just looked, but no, it's like it's a dude who like has way too much money, because he's an idiot, so something happened there.
And
And
also
then
Yeah.
many fridges full of beer in his garage.
Many
Many
fridges.
fridges.
like many,
Yeah.
like yeah, several
Many
fridges,
minis. Yeah.
several mini fridges throughout the entire property. And then he walks out, and he's like, it's like the cliche is perfect. As he walks out, he's angry. He's like, well, there's no use for this anymore. And then he walks out, giant fucking monster truck, just giant monster truck right
Huge.
there, just like on cue. And he walks into like another garage. There's like a helicopter, and like pretty sure the dude's running coke or something. But anyway, he was very angry. But it's why does every time like a minority person has a good day, the Republican Party like they just trying to destroy something they own? Like it doesn't, like they did this with
Their
like
style.
what was it?
Yeah.
What was it? The coolers a couple of years ago with the Yeti coolers, which like they were like started shooting up their Yeti coolers because
I
Yeti
don't remember
coolers
that.
got woke. Oh yeah, no, they yes, you can get angry at a cooler, Tyson,
Well, why not?
because it's
But the
woke.
best part of that video is at the end when he stocks his fridge with this giant pack of Coors
First Light,
Light and
yeah.
then go to a bunch of flashes of Coors Light LGBTQ branding.
It's right there, right at the end of the video.
Fucking
Somebody,
great.
yeah. And the funny thing is I love how this was a dichotomy for these people. I love is like, oh shit, no Bud Light, Coors Light. Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, it was like it was. Well, it was like I wonder
There,
if Coors Light actually was responsible, because like they were like, oh shit, no Bud Light, Coors Light. And it's so anyway, that was just hysterical, and it's good that
It
they
was
were
funny,
just.
and it was also Matt's comment was great. He was like, a lot of dumpster diving happening in Ellis County tonight.
Big time. That was awesome.
But it's funny because like he had I mean, obviously it was planned. Obviously, it's not like he was so enraged that he didn't buy enough Coors Light to refill all his fridges immediately. I don't know if you guys noticed that he had cubes of Coors Light on hand to make sure that he was not going to be missing any booze or beer in this case. Well, that's too much money, too much time.
But I have to bring it back to Kid Rock, who, and I think Dawson made the original comment about, something must have happened to Kid Rock to make him, to shoot his Bud Light. Like, that's anger. Like, that's for Kid Rock to wake up one morning and hear something that's going to make him shoot his Bud Light. Something happened to him. He had a relationship or
He had a
something
relationship.
I
I would
think
bet
so.
money on it
I
with a
think
transgender woman, and it confused him.
Yeah, I think so. And now he's shooting at it, which, we all deal with our emotions the same different way. I think I expect Kid Rock just laying like unaimed machine gun fire, and that's how he deals with his feelings. And I think it's important that we understand that. No, it's not. Kid Rock.
He's not at all.
He's just not good at like singling out Jesus Christ, sorry. That was gonna be a good joke. He's just not good at like identifying Adam apples. Like he's just not good at it. Like, no, he's probably been burned a couple times.
You're probably right.
For sure.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
A couple quick ones, real quick. So this was hilarious. You guys need to find the video if you can, because the article itself doesn't do it justice. But Sean Hannity's attempt to coach Trump backfires again. So Donald Trump did an interview with Sean Hannity because that's the only person he can be interviewed by other than Tucker Carlson. There's this point in the interview where, like, he's walking him through the questions, and he's talking about the documents at Mar-a-Lago, and he's like, and Hannity basically says, well, you wouldn't just take documents from the White House willy-nilly, right? You wouldn't just take them. And he's like, well, I have the right to. Of course I would. I have the right to. And Sean Hannity like tries to walk it back, and he's like, well, maybe we'll move on. It's like, no, I have the right to do that. I would do that. And so basically, like, Trump confesses to the entire thing. Hannity tries 2 or 3 times. I'm doing it injustice trying to mime it. So find the clip, but it really is funny because Hannity's like really trying to, like, you fucking moron, shut the fuck up. And he just doesn't get it. He keeps doubling down. So I am like, again, I am still on this point with Trump. I'm still super confused of like how, like, where is he? Is he competent? Is he insane? Is he smart? It is super confusing because my opinion changes daily. But I don't know. This was weird, but it was fun to watch.
Right before the show, he put out a little statement saying that he returned a gift from the Japanese Prime Minister. It was a gold-plated driver that he had put in his, so it was a gift to the president. So
right.
Any gift to the president goes to the archives. It doesn't go to your house.
Right.
Now, if there's one thing, I kind of feel a little bit for him. If somebody gave me a gift and my job said I couldn't keep it, that would piss me off a little bit, true. But still, those are the rules, right? That's fine.
Right.
But he's like, well, I found the golf club. He was like, it was supposed to be gold plated. It's paint. And I'm like, what? Like, so he managed to send that to the archives. He found it in his golf bag at like his club or something like that. But he made sure to point out that it wasn't actual gold, that it was painted, which I'm pretty sure that's not true. That seems like a lie. But anyway, so I think the answer to your question, Matt, is he's an idiot. So anyway,
I think so. Like, I'm 90% there, but then like he just, he's just magnanimous. I think he's accidentally like magnanimous, which is weird. But anyway,
also his pictures from the court date this week were fucking chef's kiss. It was beautiful. He looked lovely. So angry,
so bad. Yeah.
And he couldn't say anything. Oh, perfect.
Every time I see his hair, I think of like those classic like airfoil artistic drawings from the 30s of like cars, where it's just like that perfect streamlined, like it's got that like stylistic like wind draw. Like every time I see his hair, I'm just like, ooh, it's the future, 1940. That's all I had. The only other thing I was going to mention is Joe Biden kind of confirmed that he was running for president. I don't really want to talk about it right now because it's a bad idea and probably need to, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll put it off. We'll put it off until we have to talk about it.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
I don't want to think about it right now. I'm giving everyone a break from this topic. We're going to put a pin in it until we need the sadness and reality.
Until we have to say,
again.
Yeah, absolutely have to say
That's where I'm leaving it. Dawson, do you have anything to cheer us up?
I've got a couple things.
Yay!
Courtesy of places like the New York Post and BuzzFeed. But for starters, this is a quick follow-up to a headline that I had sent the guys, which said, Diddy confirms he pays Sting $5,000 per day for uncleared song sample. He quickly, after saying that, went on the interwebs and said, JK, LOL, basically, and backtracked. He was like, I want y'all to understand I was joking. Me and at official Sting have been friends for a long time. He never charged me $3K or $5K a day for missing you. Which, if you guys haven't heard that song, what the fuck? Like, it was on repeat for how many years?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Sting's getting paid.
Yeah, I guarantee
that's all I'm saying.
Definitely
Sting's
getting paid.
There is
and
no.
They even say in the article, like, Sting came out in an interview in 2018, I think, and said, "Oh no, he's paying me at least $2,000 a day in royalties." So
he's already. Why he backed? What did people think it made him look bad? I don't. Why would you backtrack? I don't get the controversy.
Diddy was already looking bad. I mean, in general, I was like, I didn't even know he was still having enough money to pay Sting over $1.5 million.
I'm sure Diddy's fine. Diddy's still got lots of money, but I think, that was interesting that he would push back and be like, I was kidding, in his known way of. When I think P. Diddy, I think comedy. Usually.
I've been having problems with this story, like a lot of problems. Okay, let's just say, all right, it was on all the time for like a year. It was played constantly.
Oh God, yes.
So let's say that he sold. I'm sorry, I'm playing armchair recording artist here.
You're doing your ASCAP math.
I am.
Here we go.
My BMI index. So
BMI.
let's just. That's a good one, right?
I just got that. Yeah, a little slow on the uptake, but I got it.
So, nice. So let's say he's paying $2,000 a year, or $2,000 a day. So that's almost $700,000 or $800,000 a year for the last 15 years for this song that is not making any money anymore.
Right.
Because he didn't secure the rights or didn't make a good. Here's what I'm guessing. Total guess here. He made the song, and he's like, "This is gonna be a big hit. I just gotta call Sting and make sure he's cool with it." And Sting's like, "No." He's like, "Because you basically just ripped off my entire song and then added some rap on top of it, right?" Yeah. And Diddy's like,
"We call that '90s hip hop, Tyson."
Yeah, right. And Diddy's like,
"Hey,
what do we have to do to make this right?" And he's like, "I don't know, $2,500 a day for the rest of my life." And he's like, "All right." I mean, I don't understand.
Yeah, because Diddy was rolling in it in the 90s. I mean, let's be honest.
I will say something. I saw like a chart of the most wealthy entertainers cut across from like directors, producers, artists, musicians, blah blah blah. P. Diddy is still way fucking up there. He is worth way more than most.
No
artists.
Shit.
Yeah. Wow. He's worth a lot of money.
Those '90s record deals were where things just got insane.
Crazy. Yeah, that'll never happen again, ever.
No,
ever. Yeah.
So is that the I've Been Missing You? Is that the what is the song? Is that it?
It's the I've Been Missing You song.
Okay, so that's standing at.
Where he's like kicking a pedal in the music video for a while.
That's standing on Spotify at 445 million plays.
Yeah. So he's getting about 10 cents a play for that, let's say. All right.
Yeah, so I think you're right. I think he just made a terrible fucking deal.
He had to.
Sounds like
I think
it.
you're right.
Of everything that happened this week, this story is stuck in my brain the most because I can't even fathom how badly he fucked this up. Like, I mean, he's like, I got a hit on my hands. He's like, I'm gonna have to call
He
steering
probably
in case of
he
death.
treated it like a loss leader. Like I think he
Oh yeah,
was like
absolutely.
willing to take a loss on it to become the Puff Daddy that we know and remember.
I mean, like there's a new song that is like Elton John did a remix with somebody. Maybe it was Britney Spears. I don't know. And the thing is, it's just like fucking an Elton John song, except that like Britney Spears or whoever sings a little bit on top of it. It's the same song, but he is credited on the song, so he gets a bunch of money, and she doesn't. I assume doesn't have to pay him anything for it. I'm just saying,
Sure.
lawyer up,
Yeah.
P Diddy. What the fuck, man? Anyway, sorry.
Fucked up.
Just
Fucked
seems
up, P Diddy.
sorry to interrupt, but that has been in my head all week. Like
I will say though,
I don't know if you remember what I said. I said dope. That's exactly what I said when.
Oh, he did say that.
When you sent that thing, and I was like,
we'll be missing your wallet, P
We'll
Diddy.
be missing you, P Diddy.
And then a couple of others I'll go through real quick. This is probably my favorite. The View adds coasters under mugs after co-hosts blamed for farts on air. So this came to our eyeballs from The View, or the New York Post, which is always putting out lovely content like this. Adding, The View no longer wants to let it rip. Hey-o. After allegations of fart sounds coming from stage, the show added coasters to the table so the co-hosts don't get blamed for the unknown noises. I feel like, Smith, didn't you say that you were thinking about this and tried it out?
I thought about it a lot longer than I should have. Because and it actually it was one of those things that popped back into my mind like 3 hours later. It's like, wait just a goddamn minute. There's no way a coffee mug makes a fart noise. And I don't think I am trying to think of a situation or atmosphere or texture that would in any way cause a coffee mug to cause a fart noise. I don't think it's possible.
I don't either. I think it's related. Unless there's like a rubber bottom to it and you're scooting it. That's the only thing I could come up with.
Well, I have not seen a lot of rubber bottom coffee. I mean, maybe I'm out of. I've never been on The View, so I don't know.
It could be related to the atmospheric pressures.
They haven't invited us.
That's going to cause more home runs moving forward pretty soon.
It could be.
I don't know.
Causing false attributions of farts for many years to come.
Possibly. It's all connected.
Did you do any testing, Matt? I'm just curious.
No, but I just thought about so there's a guy named James Randi who used to do this challenge for psychics. And he had $1 million. He's like, if you can prove that you're a psychic, I will give you $1 million. Nobody ever took him up on it because psychics are bullshit. I kind of want to do the same thing with Jabberjaw, only it's like a $12 Starbucks gift card. If you could make a glass make a fart sound, I don't think it's possible.
There you go.
I mean, I'll double. I'll make that 25.
Do you still have?
I'll make it Sizzler.
I'll throw into that gift card.
Hey,
do you still have that defective inflatable jacuzzi? You could offer that up. that would be a good one. I think that would get people to try at least.
I did finally throw that out, but God only knows what people are doing with it in the public. If I just leave that, you never know. You leave something on your curb, what people are going to do with it. You hope they'll write and tell you, but you hope they'll let you follow up. Be like, hey, thanks for the bookshelves. But no, but I just I thought it was just but is that actually what they blamed it on? Did flatulence.
I'm going to blame it on old age, not knowing anything about the story.
A source, I guess, for told Entertainment, which I think is hilarious. A source told Entertainment Weekly that the root of the sounds came solely from the mug scraping across the glass table, which is, again, sounds like complete bullshit. Like something else scraping across the table would not cause a fart sound.
No, I've never said who just scraped. No, I've never said that. I don't. Yeah, I think lies. We're gonna have to follow. Yeah, I think
it's like a whole thing. Like Sarah Haynes moved her mug, who apparently is now one of the co-hosts. I don't really know who she is. And then Whoopi Goldberg asked about the noise, and Haynes responded, "It's my glass every time I turn it." So it's like this whole petty bullshit. Joy Behar, who she's a part of that whole thing. The videos are pretty funny. I will say that.
Well, I'm sure they're working out amongst themselves.
Whoopi's getting pretty pissed off about it. She's like, "We keep getting blamed for dropping gas, and in fact, it's a cup." That's a direct quote from Whoopi Goldberg.
Isn't her role on that show just to say something insane or insensitive every year?
Every year, yeah. Pretty much I think those were Barbara Walters' parting words to Whoopi Goldberg when she handed over the scepter to fucking...
Just say something stupid once a year and they'll remember you forever. That's the key to journalism.
That is. Secrets out. God, love them. And then if you guys want to see some funny photos out of Japan, go to BuzzFeed right now. I don't know if everyone's aware of this, but Japan holds an annual penis festival in Kawasaki that started in 1969. That is no shit.
Wow.
And the festival centers around penises and other phallic symbols thereof. So yeah, it's pretty funny. Lots of people carrying penises, wearing penises. It's a whole thing. So check it out. Good times. I like that Japan celebrates the penis.
It's like a day thing. Is it like a whole week? What's
I think it's like a real deal festival.
So it's
like a couple of days, I believe, something like that. And it's popular. There's 50,000 people that come every year to it. So
fun fact about Tyson. Not really that fun, but kind of interesting. So,
have you been, Tyson, to this penis festival?
I have not, but I have been to the Sex Museum, which is in New York City. Which I think, have you been? Did you see that?
I have. It's been a minute, but yes, I have.
That was fun. We went to the International Penis Museum in Reykjavik, Iceland, and the International Vagina Museum is actually in London. So that is our last stop for the smutty tour of the world.
I like your style. I like it.
I get, yeah.
I got a lot of magnets from that from the penis from both. Actually.
That sounds about right.
They just had a collection of penises from all different animals, including a 6-foot blue whale penis.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah, it was a weird experience. Anyway, go ahead.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
That's all. That's I just want the listeners to check it out, and
I'm gonna do it. I think in Jabberjaw Investigates, we need to figure out this fart noise thing.
I do too. That definitely needs to come up.
Put that on the third episode.
We probably should reach out to the Mythbusters and see what they're up to. I think that's where this needs to go from here.
I agree.
Mythbusters,
those guys can figure it out.
We need to recreate.
Let's do a collab with those guys. That'd be
awesome. Let me talk to a couple people, and probably not happening. I just did it. Probably not happening.
Yeah,
just that quick.
I was gonna say we have the laziest producers in the biz, We
will. I think we could do it on a close approximation.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Sure.
Different.
For sure.
All right, should we do plugs? Let's do plugs.
We should do plugs.
Let's do some plugs. All right, plug.
You, the ice cream manufacturer. You, the frozen food distributor. And you, the food retailer. Stand today in the midst of a selling revolution. For today, you're in a merchandising era of self-service, where display and accessibility are the key to successful merchandising. Yes, today's problem is merchandising. To sell in high volume for high profits, frozen products are impulse items, and impulse buying is primarily an emotional decision.
This just in, the Vagina Museum is temporarily closed and they are looking for a new home. So if anyone has any ideas or can help them out, please let them know.
Thanks, guys.
Just an FYI. I just
Appreciate that.
Wow, they kicked them out of London? They're like, no room for you?
No.
That's sad.
Yeah, it is. But, what are you going to do?
If we lose the Vagina Museums, what do we lose next, Tyson? It's a slippery slope. I don't know.
Smithsonian is right next. So,
slippery slope, you say?
Hey-o.
Oh, hey, look at that! I did an accidental funny. It's happened sometimes.
I just want to give you an official hey now. That was pretty good.
Oh God, we got to get that sound clip.
That's right.
We'll probably get sued for that, but whatever.
Come at us, bro.
No.
Come at me, bro. So we went and saw a movie this week with a bunch of our D&D friends called Dungeons and Dragons, the movie. I don't think that's what it's actually called, but it's got Chris Pine in it and Michelle Rodriguez and what's that guy? He used to be a heartthrob. He was all kinds of befuddled all the time. He slept with a prostitute.
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant, that's the guy.
Yeah.
He's in it. And the guy from Bridgerton that I've never watched, but the sexy black guy from Bridgerton.
Yeah.
He was quite good in it too. But anyway, it's a fun movie. It's silly. It's not silly. It's fun. If you've ever played D&D, there's a ton of inside jokes and all kinds of stuff. It's great. And I will say that the fat dragon sequence was arguably my favorite thing that I've seen in a while. So I recommend that. The SNL cold open this week had
excellent.
The guy
was very good.
The guy who plays Donald Trump comparing himself to Jesus, which was excellent. My dad was very impressed with it. He sent a text message, and he was right. So the second season of Schmigadoon. Did I plug this last week? I can't remember.
I don't think so. No.
It to Smith and I, and then we kind of made fun of it.
I think you internally plugged it. We shut it down. So now you're going with the wider audience.
I'm going with the wider audience because I don't need your approval. So the
clearly,
I'm still in trouble over that whole fucking, he was asking for it bit. But yeah. So it's Schmigadoon. First, it's got Cicely Strong and Jordan Peele. No, Keegan. I don't know. Sorry, that's terrible. I can't remember his name. Anyway, there was a season 1, and it was mostly focused. It was like Schmigadoon or whatever the original Dune was. This one is more for like Chicago style stuff, Chicago musicals, and it's a lot. It's a lot riskier and risque, and it's fun. Anyway, I highly recommend it. If you hate musicals, and if you live with somebody who loves musicals, it's a perfect thing to watch together. That's all I'm going to say. And then something that is not going to register at all with either one of you two is that we've been catching up on the Picard show on Paramount Plus, which is excellent. But since neither one of you...
My mom actually came around to that. She likes it too now. So
it's quite good. We're almost at the end of season 2. Season 3 is almost done, so we've been trying to catch up. It's pretty good. Great cast. Pretty decent writing. Michael Chabon is one of the main writers. I don't know if you know who he is, but he wrote several. He won a Pulitzer for his fiction work on Cavalier and Clay, which was a novel, and he's an excellent writer. And I think is Kareem Hunt he's also on this. The basketball player who is also a very prolific writer now.
Wait, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Yes, sorry, not Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt was a running back for Kansas City. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, yeah, that's
wow.
Wow,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, he wrote a bunch of Sherlock Holmes novels in his retirement,
Really?
and he's quite a good writer.
Badass.
Yeah. So anyway, and he's been on several shows, and as a part of the writing team. Anyway, so I think those are my plugs. There was I heard this song by this band called Wednesday today, and I looked them up. And if you kind of like Ryan Adams slash Nico Case, sort of like solid new country, not new country like Nashville new country, but like like indie Uncle Tupelo like country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was really good. So that's something
Cool.
I'm gonna listen to tonight. So anyway, those are my plugs.
Sweet. Smith?
I just have a quick one. It's something that we found this weekend. I find myself sort of like increasingly more like committing to a streaming service and trying to like dive in a little bit. It's kind of been I'm just trying to like kind of catch up on stuff. And this actually came out, I think, about a month ago, but it's called Class of '07. And it's actually, have you ever heard of this? It's actually on Amazon Prime, and it's about a 10-year high school reunion, which is an all-girls school, and they sort of reconvene for their 10th reunion, and they're having the reunion, and then there's the gigantic, like, sort of Noah-esque flood that basically traps them on, like, their high school. Like, they have basically the reunion at the high school, and it basically, like, traps them on their high school, and so they have to, like, work shit out and how to deal with the apocalypse. So it's actually very good. Like I said, it came out a couple weeks ago. We blew through the first season. They're 22 minutes an episode, 8 episodes, very fast watch, and really funny. I thought it was just kind of innovative. I'm not sure if it'll get picked up for another season, but it was interesting enough at least to get me through the weekend of
Nice.
not going out and enjoying beautiful weather.
Yeah. Important to maintain that.
Yes.
And it seems like I've watched other things, but just nothing. Just a lot of bad Discovery stuff. Just
God, you can get sucked into Discovery.
You can really.
I
Those
do.
are my Sundays anymore. God.
That and like YouTube true crime. Like,
yep.
It's weird. Ugh. I can't explain it. It's dumb, but it takes my time away from me like a tapeworm. And I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That's
I'm
it.
Right there with you.
That's it. Again, I'll hope to have more next week, but that's all I watched this week, and it was quite good.
It's pretty good.
Cool.
I got 2 plugs and a quick unplug. I think you guys know what the unplug is, but we'll get there shortly. There's a new documentary series on Hulu called Pretty Baby. And it's about the sexualizing of Brooke Shields.
Oh.
At first I was like, I don't know if I want to watch this. And then I started it and I was like, goddamn fucking man's world bullshit. Like, fired up.
Good. Kathy and I've actually turned it into a date night, so we're looking forward to that.
That's sweet. That's real sweet. It's terrible what happened to Brooke Shields.
Yeah, it sounds.
It's not great.
That was almost like my apprehension to watching it is because, like, God, do I add? You know what I mean? Like, do I add? But she was like, what, like 13?
Yeah,
she was young.
She was young, but she was 9. I don't want to get into one of the worst parts of it, but there's something that happened to her when she was 9 years old that came out later. She had to go to court for it. And it just involves a bunch of disgusting men. Yeah. Just taking advantage of her at a very young age because she's a beautiful little girl who grew up into a beautiful woman, and it was hard for her. So if you want to get pissed off, check that out. And then I have been rewatching.
Wasn't she? I'm sorry. How much about it how much of the documentary was about Suddenly Susan?
There's about 5 minutes in there, Tice.
Okay, all right.
I can send you just like where that suddenly Susan takes off.
No.
They showed some old promos for it, which I found to be really nice.
I think
funny,
the point was
actually.
that there was a bigger crime. There was a bigger crime.
Yes.
I don't know if you ever watched Suddenly Susan. That was kind of a crime.
It was not great.
That's what I mean.
It was not great. There was definitely a focus on Brooke Shields being able to do comedy, and I was like, really? I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't remember that, but
remember how funny the Blue Lagoon was? Oh my god,
hilarious!
I watched it with Stripes back and forth. Anyway, go ahead.
I don't know. I mean, perms are hysterical.
Yeah, I see. I'm so uncomfortable about the whole thing. I'm just making jokes.
Oh, it's so bad. It's
a 9-year-old girl.
Right.
Oh my god.
That's kind of where I'm at. I just like I have to watch it with someone because otherwise
you have to.
So,
I shouldn't have watched it by myself. I should have watched it with Jonas, but it's really revolting.
How many parts is it?
There's only 2 parts,
okay,
but each part is about an hour and a half long.
Okay.
So it's interesting. I mean, she's living a good life now. She's got 2 kick-ass daughters and a great husband, and she's turned things around, but fuck, I mean, she went through a lot. Her mom was a nightmare, and it was just bad. It was bad times growing up as Brooke Shields.
Okay.
Despite what everyone thought.
Yeah, right.
It's like, oh, she's so pretty and nothing bad's happened to her.
No.
Bullshit. And then Jonas and I have been rewatching the series on HBO Max, Succession, which is one of the best series ever made. They are on their 4th and last season right now. We started it, but we decided to rewatch the entire thing before we dive into that. So please don't message me any spoilers. I almost messed it up today. It would have been bad. But goddamn, that show is amazing. Especially Brian Cox and Jeremy Strong.
Did you see that the guy, Jeremy Strong, did you see that today? That what happened in the story? It turns out he's a ghost the whole time.
God damn it, Tyson.
Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
I fucking earned.
That's awesome.
I earned that. Her face. If you're just listening to this, her face.
Oh yeah. This is what you gotta watch.
Look,
it's
stay tuned to fucking like YouTube to watch it. Yeah.
She's actually blushing right now. Anyway.
Oh wow, that was awesome.
I'm also sunburnt, so it's a nice little mixture. And then I have damn it, Tyson. I have an unplug, which I'm still upset about it. I should just get over it. But there's a Facebook group called "You're from Hayes if ...
Okay.
The looks on both of your faces are hilarious.
I did not expect this. That's good. That's good. Okay, though. Go for it.
I'm a little pissed about it. So I shit you not. I message the guys as I do every day. I'm on a walk and I'm like, hey, I'm thinking about posting about our podcast in this Facebook group that has about 7,000 plus Hayes people in it. Yeah. I was like, damn, that's a lot of listeners. And we talk about Hayes a lot. So I'm going to make a little plug. Very short, very sweet link, all that. Posted it. 5 minutes later, I shit you not, they took it down. And I am very upset by it. So listeners, let's revolt. Let's fucking damn the man. Let's save the empire. Let's post a bunch of shit on that thing all week long.
I don't use the Facebooks anymore, but I think I might know why it's a hunch.
What's your hunch?
Well, not to delve too far into this. This is probably more of an offline conversation, but you know what? It's more fun when we have it online. So let's talk about it. Yeah. So my recollection, that Facebook channel has been around for a long time, if I'm recalling correctly.
Yeah, it's been around for a while.
I think I know who started that.
Is it Eber Phelps?
No, it's not Eber Phelps. Poor bastard. Let's not talk about Eber Phelps.
Yeah, we're not.
That's a political career.
I don't think we can. I don't think any of us can. Nope.
No. God.
Moving on.
R.I.P. Midwest Drug. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes.
I think I know. I don't know. We just got deleted. So I think I know who started that. I'm not going to go into it but like there used to be a message board about you might remember this, Dawson, 67601.com. Do either of you remember this?
Yes.
There was a, I want to say it was probably like, you don't get to use that term very often. So 06, 07, I think somebody started like a 676, and it was just like a message board where people just like posted shit about haze. And it was kind of glorious because it was free form and people like weren't worried about what they were posting. And so for a while it was like, yeah, this guy is full of shit, or he owns this and he's, running hookers on the side. Not saying it ever got that exciting, but it could have. Anyway, I think someone from that message board started that haze Facebook group, but I'm still a little perplexed on why they just deleted it.
Also,
like,
5 minutes. I mean,
5 minutes.
I'm wondering if it was because it was a somehow there's some algorithm on there that recognized it was a link to a podcast, and maybe they have
I don't know.
some kind
That's what I was thinking. Maybe there's something.
Oh, they just killed it because you were linking to something. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, but I'm fully prepared to try different ways of promoting our show.
We just need to figure out who our most upstanding haze citizen is in our listening group, and then have them post it.
That's true.
Looking at you, Tony. Looking at you.
That would be great, actually. We could use all the help because I think we need to reach a broader audience, and
I mean, too. Also, this whole group kind of veers to the right of politics. If you go through their news feed, I think that was part of it. We do not take a shit on that.
We'll shoot up some fucking Bud Light if we have to. We'll do that. We are for sale. I don't know why we.
They couldn't have known from the name that we were slightly leaning. Sorry, I mean, maybe they could. I don't know. Jabberjaw, is that a trigger word?
I feel like our podcast has gotten brought up in one of those discreet basement meetings that they have once a month about.
I don't know about it.
I'm going to stop right there.
That's your haze stuff right there.
That's too much. Yeah, that's too much.
I don't know. I can't.
We've said, yeah.
I can't.
Anyway, I'm still pissed off. Whoever,
Well, we'll revisit it. We'll see if somebody with more credibility.
Yeah, please, somewhat. Yeah.
To be fair, hey, you know what, Dawson? If this is the hill you want to die on, I'm with you 110%. But let's do it.
Thank you.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, let's do it. All right, I like it. Pitchforks ready. Oh, this is awesome. All right. Well, I'm fired up.
All right. Good.
Ready to take on the week.
Woohoo!
All right. Just an update. The Vagina Museum has been reopened. It's been fast. So anyway.
Tyson, it is. That's going to be a fun hashtag. Vagina updates.
Oh, Vagina updates.
You know what?
The museum.
Anyway.
Excellent. Well, fellas, always a pleasure.
Yes, it was. This was a little bit of a chaotic ending, but I think we've
a little bit
decided that should stop collectively.
Yes.
Yeah. And we'll wait further updates on the Vagina opening. Museum opening. Sorry.
Yes.
We'll say that regardless of whether they're open or not in the next 5 or 6 hours, they could be closed again. Their gift store is still open, so please check it out.
Well, thank God. All right.
There's a ring.
Thanks for those.
There's a ring that you can get that has a word that they say a lot in England, but we're not supposed to say it here. Yeah. So
Yep.
You can work your magic that way. Well, good show.
Thank you.
I feel better. I do too. Feel really good right now. Anyway,
please
don't sue us.
Please put hashtag BMI index on there somewhere. That's my favorite thing I said today all night.
Okay. Yeah.
Right,
done.
You.
All right. Yeah. You're welcome. All right, listeners. Thanks as always.
All right. Thank you guys.
Bye. I forget, how do you work this thing? Oh, yeah.